Dear friends, welcome to Learning About. In this video, I'm going to share two very important but simple concepts in solving percentage problems. Now, in the competitive exams, you get direct questions on percentage, also you get questions on applications of percentage like profit loss discount, data interpretation, simple interest, compound interest, mixtures and solutions, and so on. So, next to numbers, percentage is one very important area to concentrate if you are preparing for the competitive exams. Now, so the first idea I'm going to talk about is the conversion, that is from percentage to fraction and fraction to percentage. Now, percentage to fraction, you have to divide by 100, and in fraction to percentage you have to multiply by 100. Now what I'm saying is, instead of doing this multiplication and division every time, if you try to remember the popular fractions, now that is going to be very helpful in solving it. Okay, right. Now, so for example, when you look at 100 percentage, you should treat it as 1. Okay, and when you look at 50 percentage, you can see it as half, or when you look at half, you should remember it as 50 percentage. Okay, so either way, uh, both ways are very important. Okay, and 1 by 3, 33.33 percentage, that's a popular fraction and the percentage equivalent. So when I say 1 by 3 is popular and important, 2 by 3, 66.66 percentage, that is also important, right? And 1 by 4, 25 percentage, 3 by 4, 75 percentage, that is also important. Now 1 by 5, 25 percentage, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5, all these are important. But if you remember 1 by 5 is 20 percentage, you can easily get the other values. Next is 1 by 6 is 16.66 percentage. 1 by 7 is 14.28 percentage. Now that is also a repeated number. According to me, the most important fraction or the most important percentage is this 1 by 8 is 12.5 percentage. When I say 1 by 8 is 12.5, 3 by 8 is 37.5, 5 by 8 is 62.5, 7 by 8 is 87.5. All these are also popular percentage and fraction equivalent. 1 by 9 is 11.11, that is also important. 1 by 10 is 10 percentage. 1 by 11 is 9.09 percentage. 1 by 12 is 8.33 percentage. 1 by 13 is not so popular. 1 by 14, again you can derive it from 1 by 7. The last one is 1 by 15 is 6.66 percentage. These are very important. Now how do you use this in problem? I'm showing you a direct question, one of the previous year questions, a direct one. But so it is asking for a sum of 33 percentage of 99 and 81.81 percentage of 495. Now 33 percentage, you can write it as 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 of 99 plus, now 81.81, the clue is here 9.09. Now this is 9.09 into 9 is 81.81 percentage, right? So you can, this is 9 by 11th. So 9 by 11th of 495. Okay, and 495, okay, it is divisible by 11, it's like 45 times. So, and 99, when you divide by 3, it is 33 times. So it is 33 plus 9 into 45 is 405. So that's 438 is the answer for the first sample question. Now another question. Now this question I have solved in one of my RRB mathematics videos. Just look at the question. A bank is granting this amount, okay, so 238 whatever, and 70, it is falling short by 17 percentage. Okay, so let's say x is a required amount. Okay, so 83 percentage of x is this 238 whatever. Okay, now that is 83 percentage of x. Now what is required? What more is required is 17 percentage. Okay, now that is what we are supposed to find out. Now what I'm saying is, just go to the table here. Now 17 percentage is what you require. Now what you see here is 16.66 percentage. Now you may think it's too much of an approximation, but when you look at the answer choices, okay, it's too big. Like the values are far apart. Okay, 487, 437, 570, 512. The values are far apart, so you can go for that approximation. So you can consider it as 16.66 percentage. That is like 1 by 6, and this you can take it as 3.33 percentage, which is 5 by 6. Okay, so if this amount is 5/6 of x, now what you want is 1/6 of x. Okay, okay, which means you just need this value 23875,697 by 5. Okay, by 5. Now that is what you need. Okay, so even this you can still like very much you can approximate. Okay, so 240 by 5, that's like closer to 48, okay, than any other number. So you can take this value, answer option A, as the answer. Okay, so but the core idea here is that instead of taking like 17% and 83%, taking it as 5 by 6 and 1 by 6, it really helps. Ultimately what you're going to do is you're just going to divide by 5, the given value, you're just going to divide by 5 and get the answer, and even that you're approximating. So this fraction and percentage equivalent, okay, now that's a very useful one. I'll show you more questions on that after the second concept. The second concept is what many call it as the multiplying equivalent. Now what do you mean by multiplying equivalent? Let's say there is a value x, okay, so there is a 10% increase on that, or a 10% profit, okay, a 10% increase, or 10% profit, or 10% growth. Okay, now this you can the new value you can obtain by multiplying the old value with 1.1. A 10% increase you can multiply by 1.1. A 20% increase you can multiply by 1.2. Okay, a 5% increase, you can multiply by 1.05, and so on. Okay, now this helps in a lot of ways. Okay, so I'll show you how in a moment. Also, what if there is a loss, there is a decrease? Okay, so in case of a decrease, or a loss, right? So let's say there is a 10% decrease, or a 10% loss, or a 10% discount, or a 10% depreciation, right? So in such case, you will the multiplying equivalent is, if there is a 10% decrease, you have to multiply by 0.9. If there is a 20% decrease, you have to multiply by 0.8. If let's say there is a 5% decrease, you have to multiply by 0.95, and so on. Okay, now when this increase or decrease happens multiple times, okay, so let's talk about GDP increase of 10% for 3 years, or combined annual growth rate, or all that. In such cases, okay, so let's say this increase is happening like 3 times, the 10% increase is happening like 3 times, then into 1.1 whole power 3. Now that becomes a kind of a compound interest problem. Okay, so now a sample question. A length and breadth of a rectangle are changed by 20% and 10% respectively. What is the percentage change in the area? So we know area is equal to length into breadth, and the new area is increase, so you can write as 1.2, and the new breadth is a decrease, so you can write it as 0.9. So the new area is equal to 1.2 L into 0.9, which is 1.08 LB. So which is, you just look at this part, okay, how it is, how much more than 1, it is 0.08, which means as per our multiplying equivalent conversion, it is 8%. So 8% increase, you would have written it as 1.08, right? So when you see 1.08, you should know it is 8% increase. So that's answer option D for this question. Also, you can very much use this in profit, loss, and discount, and this multiplying equivalent is especially useful in profit, loss, and discount. Okay, so for example, this question says an item was sold at 36 rupees for a profit of 20%. Now this in terms of multiplying equivalent, you can write it as a 20% profit on cost price, like a 20% increase, you can say a 20% profit on cost price is 36. So cost price is equal to 36 by 1.2, that's 30 rupees. That's answer option C. Okay, so one more question. An item was sold at 36 rupees for a loss of 20%, find the cost price. So a 20% loss, you can write it as 0.8 of cost price. Now that's 36 rupees. So cost price is 36 by 0.8. Now that's 45 for you. That's answer option D, right? So one last question. Now this is a combination of both the fraction and percentage like conversion and the multiplying equivalent. So this question says after a discount of 11.11 percentage, which means it is 1 by 9, a discount of 1 by 9, a trader still makes a gain of 14.28 percentage, that's 1 by 7 profit, okay. So how many percentage above the cost price does he marks his goods, okay. So we all know that a discount on selling price, a discount on the mark price is your selling price. Also, profit on or loss, okay, so profit or loss on cost price, now that is also selling price. So this becomes your left hand side and right hand side. So a discount of 1 by 9. So if there is a 1 by 9 discount, after the discount, what is the amount remaining? 8 by 9. Okay. So like if it is 10%, right? I write the remaining part, right? I write it as 0.9. Likewise, 1 by 9 is a discount I have offered. So I can write 8 by 9. So 8 by 9 of the marked price, 8 by 9 of the marked price is equal to, that's a gain of 14.28 percentage. Okay. So I have gained 1 by 7, right? So if it is a 10% profit, if it is a 10% profit, I would return as 1.1. That is 1 plus the 10 percentage. Similarly, if it is 1 by 7, that is this 14.28 is 1 by 7. So that is like 1 plus 1 by 7. So that's 8 by 7. So 8 by 7 of the cost price. Okay, that is 14.28 percentage gain on the cost price. I can write it as 8 by 7. Now the problem becomes very, very simple. 8 and 8 gets cancelled. You get mark price equal to 9 by 7 of cost price, which means you can simply write now how much this 9 by 7 is, how much more than the cost price. It is 2 by 7 more than the cost price. That is 9 by 7. You can write it as 1 plus 2 by 7. So it is 2 by 7 more than the cost price. Now this is your markup. This is your markup. Now we know what is 1 by 7. That is 14.28 percentage. What is 2 by 7? That is 28.56 percentage. Now if you are not going to use the fraction percentage equivalent, or if you are not going to use the multiplying equivalent, now this problem becomes a very lengthy problem to solve, right? Okay. So thanks for watching the video. Now if you have any comments, please share your comments in the comment section below. I hope this video was useful to you. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Learning About. Thanks for watching the video.